Hey, what's going on, Top 10 Nerd Fam? We were just playing some 2-on-2.
Yeah. Welcome back to, the nerdiest page ever, as you can tell.
Did you ever see this weird timing? Like, yeah, we didn't plan that part. Alrighty, now that we're warmed up, hey, did you ever see a superhero movie and think, wow, this guy's kicking ass, but do you ever feel like they're killing a lot of people in the process?
Yeah, I mean, sure, it's hard to get things done without, of course, getting a little dirty, but how many kills is too many kills? Today on our list, we'll be breaking down the top 10 superheroes with the highest kill counts.
And I know there's two different meanings when you ask somebody what their kill count is. Like, those are very two different numbers, you know?
And I feel like Deadpool is actually number one for both of those lists, given his history.
That's fair. That is definitely a fair assumption to make. I mean, he's for sure close. Who knows? Who knows?
Well, after this list, you will know.
That's right. She's Amanda McKnight.
And he's Taylor McWatters.
And here are the top 10 superheroes with the highest kill counts.
Number 10, Peacemaker. You might think Christopher Smith's Peacemaker is a villain based on the fact that he was part of the Suicide Squad team, and we'll be seeing him work alongside other villains like King Shark, Harley Quinn, and Captain Boomerang in James Gunn's Suicide Squad 2, where he'll be played by John Cena. But no, Peacemaker is actually more a mentally unstable hero who suffers from schizophrenia. He is haunted by the ghost of his father, who was a former German World War II soldier who operated a concentration camp. His father pushes him to be more and more extreme during his vigilante fight for peace. Peacemaker also believes the souls of those he failed to save reside within his helmet, and it's the collective of all those voices who motivate him from using non-lethal force to extremely lethal force, leading him to often be depicted as time went on as a gun-wielding hero who would go at great lengths to ensure peace, even if it meant killing those who stood in his way.
Number 9, Winter Soldier. Your pal, your buddy, your Bucky. He made his first debut in Captain America Comics issue 1 way back in 1941, and we were introduced to him as James Buchanan Barnes. But later on in Captain America Volume 5 issue 1, and I'm saying way later, like 2005, we see him as the Winter Soldier properly. And then in the MCU, we don't see a lot of the dirty work that the Winter Soldier has been up to, but we do find out that amongst those killed are Tony Stark's parents. Oops! So this comes to be explained in the climax of Captain America Civil War. So the Winter Soldier is cool with killing, let's just go with that. But how many has he killed? Well, while under mind control and basically acting as a pawn for Hydra, it's kind of hard to say. But with the ability of freezing him over and over and over again, only using him when there's a job to do, to see Bucky in the final moments of Endgame and to think that he was the one who killed Howard and Maria Stark, it's just a weird sight to see. Oh, and also Jasper Sitwell. Can't forget him. And oh, who's that one guy? Oh yeah, John F. Kennedy. Yeah, can't forget that one. So yeah, he's killed quite a bit.
Number 8, Deadpool. Wade Wilson might always have the best of intentions, but that doesn't mean that he's above killing people that need to be dead. He's killed tons of people, but in his opinion, only people that deserved it. Also, some of those people may not count in his mind, as his kill count is diverse and includes invading alien test tube babies, vampires, and even zombies. So to him, some of these monster creatures who would be considered already dead in some capacity. Still, at the end of the day, if a bad guy needs to be killed, Wade is going to go there, especially if he's ordered to kill said bad guy by Captain America himself. Sadly, not all those that Deadpool thinks are bad guys are, which means that when an unknowingly evil Cap tells him to eliminate S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Phil Coulson, Deadpool believes he's doing the right thing in killing even Coulson.
And number 7, Iron Man. The man in the can himself. Anthony Stark, of course, made his cinematic debut back in 2008 when Iron Man came out and literally changed the game. He, of course, is the big hero who comes to save the day in the MCU, but just how many people has Stark killed while kicking names and taking ass? Well, for starters, the Science Bros, Banner and Stark, are both responsible for Ultron. And Ultron kind of broke Sokovia, you know? Bruce Banner had flown off and eventually wound up in Sakaar, so he didn't really have to face the Sokovia Accords like Tony did. But man, him and Pepper separated because of this. I mean, Tony was approached by a grieving mother, played by the wonderful Alfre Woodard, and she says the words, "You think you fight for us, you just fight for yourself." And Tony, for the first time, is quiet. He's shell-shocked. I mean, he doesn't really know what to say. He realizes at that moment that her son's death truly is his fault. And at that moment, he probably thought of how many other people were killed in that one movie. The death toll surpassed 175 civilians in just the Battle of Sokovia. So I think Tony upped his kill count when it came to, snapping his fingers and literally dusting Thanos and all of his army.
Number 6. Black Widow. For years it was Black Widow's job to kill those she was ordered to kill. Natalia Romanova ended up switching sides from villain to superhero in the comics, but she's also had quite a troubled past and gone back and forth a few times when it comes to her loyalties. Before she was an Avenger, she worked as a KGB operative. Even during her initial time working alongside the Avengers, it was hard for Natasha to shake off her past ways of doing things, with her even threatening to kill those who opposed her new team. As Black Widow says in the movies, she's a character who has often been known as someone with a lot of red in her ledger. As such, we also get a lot of great atonement stories from her when it comes to her solo runs in the comics, such as the beautiful and action-packed finely woven thread story arc from her 2014 series.
Number 5. Green Arrow. Oliver Queen! Of course, if you watch the hit CW show Arrow, you've seen Stephen Amell crush it as the iconic character Green Arrow. See, with 8 seasons now and crossover events, it would be hard to find somebody who doesn't know about Oliver Queen's part-time job. Yep, he murders people with a bow and arrow, and he looks pretty badass while he does it too. He was of course a billionaire before he was stranded on a remote island, and then it was there that he decides to be an unreal archer. Like, really good. So the next thing you know, Oliver was ripping arrows left and right, and he took down China White's heroin operation. But of course, arrows have been known to, definitely kill you upon impact. Arrows just don't graze you and you're like, ah, that was close. Usually arrows kill people, and when you're a member of the Justice League, you have to fight a bad guy or two. Superman and Batman have this rule that they try really hard not to break. No killing, of course. Oliver Queen, on the other hand, no problem. Killing is the game, Green Arrow is his name. No. In the comics, he genuinely tries to use murder as the last resort, but in the show, oh dude, this guy's in like triple digits by now. I tried archery tag last year, it's hard. I mean, I caught an arrow, so basically I'm Oliver Green, but God, that aim in the wind, a lot to focus on. This guy's crazy.
Number 4. Damian Wayne. Damian might be more of a sidekick still at this point in the comics, but we're one focused aging story away from him becoming a hero of his own. After all, he did grow up with John Kent for a while, and John is now a full adult. All it takes is one fateful trip to space, apparently. Being raised by his mother and deadly assassin Talia al Ghul means that when Damian was dropped on Bruce Wayne's doorstep, the child was already a deadly killer. In the Injustice universe, we also see what kind of hero Damian could grow up to be given the right conditions. Here, Damian sides with the tyrannical Superman, and after accidentally killing Dick Grayson, becomes the new Nightwing. He's a hero who has no qualms with killing, and because he's so good at killing, this leads him to being responsible for quite a few massacres while in his new superhero mantle.
And number 3, Thor, the god of thunder from down under. He has to be in this list, of course. He's been around for like 1500 years, so he's had a lot of time to kill. Thor Odinson made his comic book debut in the golden age of comics back in 1950. He was introduced in Venus issue number 11. When his first solo flick made its ways to theaters in 2011, fans were in for a treat. I mean, we finally were introduced to some of the biggest players in the MCU. We're going cosmic, one of which being Loki. Now, Loki, of course, was adopted. He's actually a frost giant on the inside. And this is important because Thor straight up murders 80 frost giants in the first Thor movie. And he does it with ease too. For a guy who just casually walked in there looking for a fight, maybe even a conversation, he took that many souls. That hammer must hurt too. When he throws it once, it's not stopping. There's nothing getting in the way. No ice head, frost head. It's going through you, pal. And we see that in the opening of Thor Ragnarok too. He tosses his hammer once, and it just goes in circles killing people. And he's punching Surtur's demons too while this is happening. So this guy's got his hands full, or rather, not full. The hammer's just doing it. Now, of course, his actions on Jotunheim weren't taken lightly, as his father took away his hammer and banished him to this lousy old planet Earth. In the comic Thor First Thunder, he's actually responsible for the death of Spider-Man, who he flung into space. Now, of course, his mind was altered and was under the control of Loki in a bit, but still, hammers hurt. Hashtag hammers hurt. Number 2, Wolverine. When it comes down to the last 2 spots of this list, it's only fair that one of them is, of course, Wolverine. See, look at those claws. Is it any question that he has the most kills? If he just shakes a guy's hand, he's like, hey, nice to meet you. Sing. Sorry, oops. He made his comic book debut in the Incredible Hulk issue 180, and it was a nice last page reveal. And then since then, the Beast has been slashing his way through comics, and now with our very first R-rated Wolverine film, released back in 2017, simply titled Logan, we get a glimpse of just how much damage huge jacked man is capable of inflicting. See, in Logan, we see Wolverine kill about 90 people, easily. and it's pretty gory and also kind of epic. That's just a small percentage of the pain this causes in the comics. Like, in the Enemy of the State comic storyline, we see him kill like 52,000 people, and that's all in one day's work. So next time you wake up and you're tired, just think, oh man, Wolverine killed like 52,000 people. I can maybe check the mail, I don't know.
Number 1, the Punisher. The Punisher is likely one of the most severe heroes we've seen in the comics, especially when Garth Ennis is writing him, or just in general when he's making an appearance in a Max Marvel title. Frank Castle believes he's completely justified when it comes to seeking vengeance both for himself and for others. He won't just kill you, he'll torture you first. And although many have asked Castle at what point does he stop, when will he be satisfied? In truth, it seems more than likely that due to his experiences with war, the Punisher is a hero who has become addicted to violence, bloodshed, and killing. For Frank, the war will likely never end. He's just too restless to ever be satisfied, to ever feel like that's enough. Thank you so much for watching, Nerd Squad.
Who do you think are some of the deadliest superheroes? Are there any with a kill count who you think exceeded those listed here?
What do you think of superheroes who kill? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments from one of our latest collabs, Top 10 Star Wars Comics You Need to Read.
Gavin Smiley writes, what do I want from Mandalorian Season 2? More interesting door kills. Wow.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, fair.
That was actually one of my favorite things about the beginning of Mandalorian, door kills.
I like when he eats the frog, you're like, more frog eating. That's
more frog eating, more frog eating, more door kills. I hope doors can make our part 2 to this list.
Mandalorian Season 3, just doors. It's just doors. That's it. Boba Fett's just a door. And Chris Bradley writes, Amanda and Taylor are killing it when they host the show together. Please do more collab videos together, and thank God for Top 10 Nerd. I'm learning about characters in comics I have never heard of, like Noel, and my favorite character in Star Wars is Rey. Well, thank you. I mean, we love doing these because we get to freshen up with comics and movies. Like, what a killer job. And next time we drop a premiere video live, hop in the comments and we can all chat and be nerdy together. Also, Rey is awesome. I loved her arc in the new trilogy.
Yeah, I also really like Rey. I feel like Rey's pretty cool. Kingdom Come Superman comments, ashamed to admit it, but I've never read a Star Wars comic. I heard the recent Darth Vader one was good. Well, you know what I loved about this comment? I just loved all the people that were positive in response to it, being like, yo, it's okay if you haven't read like a Star Wars comic yet. Here's some ones that you can read, but you also don't need to. I just love when people are like, oh, you haven't done this, and like just gatekeep you.
Like, I'll tell my friends I haven't seen a movie and they're like, you're an idiot, you should be ashamed. And I'm like, I just don't have Amazon Prime, I'm sorry.
Well, we have, you can just go in our comments, our nerd fans will support you.
We got your back, always, here we go. 1 million of them will have your back. And Giancarlo Glassford says, a top 10 list of actors/actresses who played both superheroes and villains. If you mean both, that would be a great list. Josh Brolin played Cable and Thanos, obviously. That gets a lot of attention. But I feel like people are forgetting that Kurt Russell played Ego, the Living Planet, and also the Commander from Sky High. Kurt Russell is amazing.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Also, like, can we just talk about like Thor? Like, we have Idris Elba who played Heimdall, who's amazing. Nice. Anthony Hopkins played Odin. Like, it's crazy.
Wow, it's wild. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video.
He's Taylor McWatters.
And she's Amanda McKnight.
Till next time, you stay nerdy, my friends.
Bye. Might see ya.
Natalia Why can I say this? Romanova, there we go.
I just noticed you have the shoes to match and everything. You're like, you can't even see the waist down, but she's killing, she's got the shoes, everything. I'm just wearing pants. I'm a poser. Who plays ball in pants? Not this guy. Just walk in with a basketball one of these takes and be like, Thor.